Okay, well, so good evening, health coaches. This is our weekly health coach huddle up, and of course, we're doing this every week on Mondays, right after the leadership call. So, for those of you that were waiting on here before we joined in, the leadership call. Sometimes it's scheduled for 30 minutes, but it's hard to obviously accommodate when you're celebrating people's stories, how long they're going to talk, and trying to just get everybody in the time frame. And so they've been going a little bit long. So our call is basically usually scheduled for about 30 minutes worth of content right after the leadership call. So that's what we're trying to do. And we've got a nice call tonight. We want to welcome you all that have joined us. I know we got a few new faces, and so we're going to introduce those folks. One of the things that I just want to really impress on you guys is the reality that Optavia makes a difference in people's lives. It really is a gift that can be given away. And the three areas that it addresses is obesity, and so that's our physical bodies, our poverty, financially, how we can put our lives together, and then with relationships or depression, people that having hopelessness. And when those three things really are dealt with in this community and with this process. And another thing that Brian Drollinger said today, he says people are overweight for primarily one thing. It's because stress in their life, and they have stress in their life and they don't know how to manage stress. Nobody says, I'd like to eat and gain a bunch of weight and feel terrible about myself. Nobody ever says that. But people eat when they're stressed because it solves the stress need right now, and the weight doesn't show up for a while, right? And so what we're doing as coaches is we're helping people to process their stress and change things. And there's a lot more to it than that, but those are the basic things of what we do. And at a fundamental level, that changes everything. And so think about when you are not stressed out about money because you have more paycheck at the end of the month rather than more month at the end of the paycheck, how that changes your stress levels, and how that affects your eating, and how that affects your sleeping. So pretty cool, pretty powerful stuff. So another thing is next week is going to be the first Monday of the month, and we're going to do a special all team. So we'll have the folks from Alex's team over on this side, and there's somebody, her name is Joanna Mitchell, and Joanna was somebody that was like one of you, part of this team here for a while, and then her team got so big, she branched off with the Preston Box, and she's now her second month as a presidential and her first month as an integrated presidential. And so next week we get to have her here, and you guys can ask her questions. Like, she's just like you guys. Like, I mean, she's got 5 kids, so she might not be like any of you or something like that, but how her life has changed. And there was one point when she was a brand new coach. And then there was one point when she was a senior coach. And then she worked her way up to executive director, and then started building a team, and then she got to a point where she got stuck for about a year, and something had to grow, something had to change, and it did. And then she zoomed up and now is integrated presidential. So Joanna Mitchell will be our guest next week, and you guys will be able to say, like, what was the thing that, what changed? What's it like? Is it better than you thought? The one quote that I heard somebody say is, you probably overestimate what you can do in the first year of a coaching, but you will farly underestimate what you can do in 5 years of coaching. It'll blow your mind. It's unbelievable. So Dawn and Kelly, I wanted to say hello to you guys. I know you guys I can't unmute you. I'm trying to, but it won't let me. So we had some, you have some things that you would like to say, or would you like to walk us through any folks that are guests, or just wanted to? Dawn and Kelly are my co-hosts, and so I wanted to make sure that they have a voice here. And that's one of our biggest focuses here, is to give everyone a voice. So welcome, Dawn and Kelly.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody tonight. Matthew, you are a new face to me, so I would love it if you would just introduce yourself to the group, give us a little tidbit about where you're at with maybe your health journey, what brought you here tonight.
No, I'm excited. I've been a little over 2 months. Irvin Duffy, really good friend of mine, amazing guy. Really, I watched his journey over a few months, and he really inspired me and got me motivated. And I have 6 kids, so I've got a lot to live for and do the right thing for. But so far, 35 pounds down, doing a really good job, and sharing my story. So what I love about this is it's all about changing our lifestyle and changing the things that we do right. And I love it. It's been the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it wasn't for Irving, might be in a different place. So I hate to do that to him, but it's the reality of what it is. And so I'm excited about it, and I'd love to hear what everybody's talking about tonight, because I believe it's something that I could really be a part of and help some of my friends out there that need it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on all the progress you've made in your own health journey. We think Irv is pretty inspiring as well. We're pretty happy to have him here as part of our team. So, Irv, thanks for inviting Matthew. All right. So, Coach, going to throw it back to you.
Yeah, perfect. So tonight, there's a couple of things that are going on with our coaching. And I was talking two primary reasons of why this particular meeting you're on is different. Because we've got the meeting that we just had with Dr. A, and it starts at 5, and every week, 5 Pacific. And you have to earn the right to be interviewed by usually helping a lot of people. There's the reasons why you're talking on that. So it's pretty much a group of different people talking to thousands of people, right? There's no opportunity for you guys to have a voice there until you get to a place where you can do that. And usually it's a global director or a presidential director or something of that nature. But with this group here, we do have a voice. And so we take that big thing and we make it smaller. And so that's one of the primary things. Also on Saturdays, we're doing it's a 12-week series on how to coach with our system. So the 5-in-1, the Optavia guide, specifically the 5-in-1 program, is very, very scientific. It's got a journal in here that is psychologically powerful, scientifically, psychologically sound. So this is really good for helping you to get into fat burn and helping you to build a few micro habits, right? This by itself is not going to change your life, right? And so, but it's really, really powerful and really simple to follow. Well, they've, over the last 2 years, have been working on essentially a coaching, Optavia coaching guide with the details. And it's going to be revealed at convention. And so the 12-week Saturday classes are a pre-run to deploy it to all the coaches that are engaged now. So it's not brand new when you get to convention, and so we can start implementing it now. So that's 7 to 8 a.m. Pacific time, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 o'clock Eastern. It's 1 hour, and I would really encourage you to do what you can to just block your calendar. We're going to be talking a little bit about time blocking, but I'm going to be posting in the Optimal Health Coach page that um, about how to find or there's a document in there on the recordings so you can watch them later. So if you can't watch it and you haven't blocked out your time to watch it live, then block your time to watch the recording. Because if you don't watch it, you'll have holes in your coaching system, and those holes show up as lack of progress, lack of growth, frustration, because you think you're doing the stuff right, but you're missing some stuff. How many of you have been on the 5-in-1 and you talk with a client and they think they're doing it right, so they're not intentionally doing it wrong, they're accidentally doing it wrong, and they have Brussels sprouts or carrots, right? Or a glass of wine or croutons or whatever that is that they have, and they're not in fat burn. And they're not intentionally doing it wrong. They just don't know. And so with coaching, there's a lot of things that you don't know that when you do them right, oh my goodness, that's how people awaken and realize that this is more than just a weight loss program for themselves, but they look at this as being much more. And so that's why we want to follow that system. So time blocking is just a matter of going into your calendar and you literally block off the time, and then you protect it that nothing else goes in there. When it's time to show up, you show up. So, and if you want to find the recordings on the Optimal Health Coach page, if you click on files, and I can actually even show you how to get there. I'm going to bring up the OHC now, and I'll share it with y'all just so you know that. Okay, OHC. So over here on the left, if you click files, and then the system 12-week training, click on that, and there is the recording for the first week. And when the second recording comes up, I will put it there as well. And we'll just go through this system 1 week at a time. Any questions as far as time blocking or the training? It'd be a great time to talk about any takeaways, or if there were some things. I want to give you guys an opportunity to share your voice, ask questions. This is the place to get down in the weeds and work stuff out, because you don't have a voice in those other forums, and this is it. So who has something they want to, any questions about that? Irving's video froze and with his eyes closed. Oh, now he's back. It looked like he fell asleep, but it was just the frozen video. Yeah, Daniel.
Go ahead.
Christina, you're up.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask the recap thing. I didn't even see it until like an hour after you posted it, so I made sure my notifications were on in the group. But is there any way we can plan those ahead if we're gonna do them for the rest of the 12-week training?
Yeah, I want to continue doing them. I'm racing at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and so this coming week I'll be watching the live video from my car, and then right at 8 o'clock there's racing that happens, and so I won't be able to do it this coming week. That's why I didn't schedule that. But as far as after that, there's no reason why I wouldn't be there after that, or somebody else. Well, I'll be over with, Dawn and Kelly. You guys could probably, well, go ahead. I'll let you talk.
Well, if you want, if there's enough people who are interested, I'd be interested in crashing in Craig's Zoom room and hosting a debrief afterwards on Saturday, if people want to do that.
So let's just plan for it, and Don will host there for us to do a little discussion, and I think that sounds great. Thank you, Don. So Christina, the answer is yes. The biggest thing with those, there's already been twice where the things that I learned on that came up in my conversations. And one of them was when we were discussing, I've had a lot of conversations today. It's the last day of the month. I want to talk about closing the month out strong. And it said, so when you get to an objection, which I've been just getting credit cards mostly today, there hasn't been a lot of objections. But if whatever their objection was not an issue, would you still want to move forward and accomplish the things we just talked about? Just that simple thing. If this was not an issue, would you still want to move forward? And they might have, oh no, there's this other issue. Okay, let's talk about that. So if that was an issue, would you still want to move forward? You know, and that was a powerful thing that I learned from the training that I used. So how about you? Anything else from that training that come? But my point in saying all that was, we can learn and we can talk about and we can kind of go over the training, and it comes down to a point where we have to just open our mouths and say, "Hey, how are you?" And we build a relationship with another human being, and we let it go. We let the relationship develop, and that's how everyone got here. Is somebody said, "Hey." So,
can I add something? Can I edify that story a little bit?
Yes, sure, Martin.
This is going to be in the story, though, by the way. That's okay. So there are these two and this is a God, like, honest to God, true story. There were two famous golfers being taught by this famous golf pro. And both of them were just excellent. Practiced awesome. They could go out on the range and they could strike the ball. They could hit it to within a yard of where their target was. One golfer, when they go out to compete, one golfer would just do really well. He would handle adversity. He would get out there. If things didn't go well, he would just adjust to it and he'd complete his round. The other golfer, at about the third hole, when his shots didn't go as he expected, he got frustrated and quit. So it didn't matter how good he practiced, how good his skills were, he needed to learn how to apply them. He actually needed to learn how to apply them. So what you're saying is we eventually need to get out there and put our skills to the test and refine them and just keep doing it.
And technically, it's not like you have to sign someone up. You have to start a relationship. You have to care about somebody and get under their word. Hey, what's going on? And whatever that looks like. Just that's how I met Irving. It was basically we were in the process of renting a car, and he actually started the conversation. He was trying to sign me up as a coach. Now he's just like, "Hey, were you in the military?" And I said, "No." And we just talked, you know, and that's how things happen. So that's exactly it. All right. So we got those two things going. And then, so the other thing too is, you know, I just want to also say that nobody has to build this business. Nobody has to help people. Nobody has to develop personally. You don't have to do any of this stuff. This is, if you want to do it, that's what we're doing. And so we invite you to come along. It'll probably be way better than you thought. It'll also probably be way harder than you thought, because those go together, right? Now, Jose, didn't you have, you had some news for this week, right? A celebration? Did you have your first client?
This is my first client.
Say hello.
Hi.
Wow. Great stuff there. How about them apples? Welcome to the party. Yeah. So Jose's opening his mouth and caring about people, and people are joining us. That's perfect. Now, what's your name? It's your first time on the call, right?
It's Janet.
Janet. And how do you know Jose?
From church.
From church. Awesome.
Yes.
Now, have you just ordered? You haven't started anything yet, right?
I haven't started yet.
Okay. Awesome. Well, do you have something specific that you're looking, a dream or something that you're hoping to accomplish by becoming healthy?
Oh yeah, just my overall health has gone downhill in the past year, and I just want to get healthy, be able to exercise. I have fibromyalgia, and so I really want to try to detoxify myself.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Well, we're glad to have you. And I noticed, thanks for joining us, Daniel Ortiz. I noticed you standing there to the side, and I didn't recognize you, bro. Like Like you almost disappeared. I know. Way to go, buddy. Oh my goodness. This program changes lives. It really does. You look great. So awesome. Any other comments about that? Is it what kinds of stuff is anybody stuck with taking an action, or they don't know what's next, or you're just sort of like, maybe I'll just flip some papers and sort of pretend like I'm busy, right? What is it? Who's stuck? Who wants to move forward? And who's not being able to? Anybody want to toss something out?
I'm a little stuck, to be honest, but I think having what you call like short-term structural tension charts and doing this 12-week thing with Doug Wood, I think is going to really push me, because I hit manager again this month and I'm really feeling good about it. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, how can I kick it up one more notch on the volume to really make that line towards ED even straighter. Mm-hmm. So I think I have a good plan, but I mean, I talked to you enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can come up with a better one. So, you know, I have my own ideas. I make plans and God laughs, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I mean, I am a little stuck in where to go from here, but I know that training's going to be killer, because it was this last Saturday, and I'm so glad that I showed up, even though I was tired. Mm-hmm. So
good work. Yeah. Excellent. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, and actually I'd love to, Dawn, if you have, for those of you that have been to convention last year, our wellness retreat / convention, it was in Dallas. I'd love for people, if you went for the first time, if you can think back to what did you think was going to happen, and then you went, and what did happen? Because we're going to talk a little bit about making the investment in the snowball effect that could really change the rest of your life by having a breakthrough at this type of environment. So who knows, who wants to talk about their experience at convention? I know Christina was there. Lynn Ann, have you been to convention? Yep. I know Martin's been to many.
So last year was my first year. I don't want to take up too much time, but last year was my first year, and I had some pretty killer roommates, if I do say so myself. And thank you, Dawn and Bessie. But I went, and I didn't know what to expect. I was like new in the health coach thing and not sure what I was doing, but then I went and just watched everybody walk the stage, and like they got like smoke and like fireworks and all these different things, and I was like, oh, I want that to be me. I want, you know. And so like I don't think I would still be a coach if I didn't go, honestly, because I needed that push, a little more push on where I could go versus where I was at. And it was just awesome to see how this program has taken people without hope, or they had to run their business out of their bathroom because it was the only room with a door, you know, and they grew a global business or presidential business, you know. And so I'm like, I have no excuses, 2-year-old or no 2-year-old. Yep. I can run my business, and it's all a matter of looking to my mentors for that confidence.
And we've got a lot of people. Thank you, Christina. We got a lot of people that, you know, they have like 6 children, and they're developing of this business now, right? You have 1 child and you have your skills, and, you know, there takes a lot of different skills to run a household of many children. And so there's all about becoming more balanced and more efficient with your time, and protecting the things that build value for your future and the time to invest. And, you know, in the end of the day, when we're successful in this business, it's only because people's lives got better. I mean, the people that you actually know and connect with, they actually become better. And I love that. I really love that. Dawn, what do you have? I know you've been many times.
Yeah, we've been several years now, and I remember my first convention. I really was a pretty new health coach. We'd only been coaching month and a half, and I really didn't know what to expect, you know. And gathering at a big group like that, I guess I was kind of, you know, I'd heard about other companies that had kind of run these kind of things, and I was wondering if it was going to be similar to that, kind of a lot of hoopla, a lot of talking about who's making how much and all that kind of stuff. And I have to tell you, I was so impressed with how the heart of the people, and how so much of the conference was just about caring about other people and serving other people, and the level of integrity in the company coming from the leadership. And I just thought, you know, this is really something I can 100% get behind, because it just really spoke to my heart, and what my true desire in coaching was to really make a difference for others, like you know, my coach had made for me. So I think that was a big piece of my experience. And then the training was just so good, just super practical, and lots of great tips you could put right into practice. It just it was fun. And it was super fun to just see coaches that I had met on Zoom, like finally face to face, and, you know, actually shake their hand or give them a hug and find out about their life. That was super fun.
Mhm.
So I don't know, you want to add anything, Kelly?
No, that's pretty good.
Sorry,
Yeah,
too many words.
Yeah, no, the training was awesome.
Yeah.
The
So
training was really good.
I remember that year, Dawn, you guys talked about going to a family reunion or convention.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you were trying to figure out which one to go to. And I know you showed up, and it was fun. So here's a little bit. Let's say you want to go to convention. So I've asked people this question many times. Do you want to go? And the answer is usually, well, I can't. And I didn't say, can you go? I asked, do you want to? Yep. Do you want to? And because if you want to, it's not till July. We've got some time to build around whatever your can't happens to be. The two reasons why people say they're not going to go is because they don't have the time or they don't have the money. And the two things that having a successful coaching practice gives you is time. It buys your time back with money, right? Because you're able to work less hours and make more money, and you're affecting people's lives. So the two reasons why you would want to go were to change the amount of time you have and or the amount of money that you have to do the things that are important to your heart, that make a difference to you. And so to get to convention as a new coach, it's $199 if you're a new coach. That's the cost of the convention. And then if you register today, Terry Miller will give you $50 wellness credit. So that's cash on account. So that takes it down to $149, right? And so we were thinking about, if you were to get a hotel and room with 4 people, the estimated one night in a hotel is about $175. That's typically what they get the group rate down. So if you take 4 people for 4 nights, well, that makes it $175 for the hotel stay. So now we're up to $149 plus $175, so we're at $325. $325, and your lodging is taken care of, and your registration. Now we just got to get airfare. Let's just say, one time Linda Benson said, well, I really just can't afford to go. And I said, well, what if you just kept it open and started asking? The next day, her husband went to work, found out a friend that had companion fares on Alaska Airlines, and got a round trip ticket for $90. Well, all of a sudden, $90 round trip ticket. She was there for less than $500, and she made $500 Mac many times. And it changed her as who she is as a person, right? And so think about it. Let's just say your airfare is about $400 on average. You can probably I can get from the West Coast to the East Coast. I flew to Florida for under $400 when I went to Orlando. And so you can get airfares like that. So let's just say that's the total package is about $725. And you got to come up with that. You don't have it, but you got to come up with that. Tamara just said a lot cheaper than her conference that she went to this past week. Yeah, think of that. Yeah. And the cost, $225, Bessie just said the cost is $225 if you're not a new coach. If you're a new coach, it's $199. If you're a current coach, it's $225. And it goes up to $250 tomorrow. So anyway, let's just say you purchase your new coach. It's either $199 or $225, but then you get the $50 wellness credit. So you take $50 off of that. And let's say that your hotel is $175. Let's say that the airfare is $400. Let's just say a grand total of about $725 to $750. We did the math, and 10 to 12 clients. If you brought on 10 to 12 clients between now and then, you would make somewhere between $800 and $900. So imagine if you helped 10 people's lives change and it covered almost 100%, if not 100% of your trip. You helped 10 people become healthier, and it'll afford you. Now you just got to find the time, and the money's in. And I did this with another coach. Her name's Holly. She says, well, I want to go, but I can't. And I said, well, if you could, would you? What if it was taken care of financially? Would you go? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, let's figure that one out next. Now I know you want to go. Now we can figure it out. And she went ED, and she went there with, I think she got a check for like $1,800 for going ED, and it more than covered her expenses. So anyway, just a couple little things there. If you're thinking about, first you start out with what you want. Don't start out with what you can do. Because none of you can probably lose 50 pounds. Many of you have, but I know you can't. Even though you did, I know you probably can't, right? When you started this, there's no way I can get healthy again, right? There's no way I can become successful. There's no way I could quit my job and do health coaching full time, right? Don and Kelly? There's no way we can do that, right? We can't, but somehow you did. So figure out, do you want to? And then let's work towards it. Because a lot of these things you can't do. I see a lot of people that can't be presidential. Somehow they figure it out. They can't help 20 people, but they do. So, all right. So you've got till the end of the night to register for convention to get the early bird thing. It's available for people that are not coaches at all. They have a whole wellness track where you can go just as a client. And you could be around 5,000 people that are all paying attention to their health and have a heart for others. So it's a cool bunch of people, some of the best people you'll ever meet. And so you can do that tonight. If you want more details, go to the Optimal Health Coach page, scroll down. There's a thing there that says convention sale, and then you can figure out how to get all that done. So any questions before we close up shop? Yeah, Jose. Can you unmute yourself? Yep.
Okay, Craig. Just register tonight on the site that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. You did already?
That's it. No. I was just asking.
Yeah, so you got, so on our health coach page, let me go there now and I'll just show you what it looks like. For those of you that don't know, you can go scroll down here and it says convention flash sale. So we click on this and this is the instructions on how to go through all this. Save up to $100 by registering today. $50 savings and not registering last minute when the tickets go up. $50 wellness credit. You click on this link here. That will take you to where to register. Tells you all about it. Gives you a little thing about convention last year. Register now. And then you go down here to Incredible Convention.
You're looking for Jen's email.
Yes, and then you send an email to this person here, forwarding after you register. So all the instructions are right here. Just got to take a minute to read through them. And if you do that by tonight, this is when it all. And think of it, David and Terry Miller went to convention 14 years ago, and now they have 15,000 coaches on their team. David and Terry Miller, we're part of their team. Almost everyone is. Not everybody is, but almost everyone is. So anyway, so that's how to do that. And I just encourage you, take a chance. If you're going to take a chance on something, this is way better than going to Vegas. Right? Way better. All right, you guys. So next week, we'll be here and we'll be able to interview Joanna Mitchell, presidential director. She's part of our team. Alex and the rest of the gang is going to be here. So we'll see you next Monday for that. With that, we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.